Wow, I usually unmute that. I'm glad you pointed that out for me. I feel very silly now. Tempted to restart the live, but there we go. It's fine. Ouch. Hello, hello. Basically, I am doing a live stream today because I have to do work, and the same as yesterday, it is working now because I saw your message. And I have to do work, so I'm gonna do it on here. It's Minecraft based, so I was like, maybe you'll like it. I did this yesterday as well. I did it at my usual time of streaming. I just want to start doing this work earlier, and then I can just kind of continue on. I will obviously be having like dinner at some point today, so that will obviously cut the stream to an end if I end up going that far along. You know, it'll be fine. We'll work through it. Okay, no worries. But yeah, it's gonna just be a work day. We may chat, you know, it'll be just kind of how it goes. Oh. And I'm gonna do some work. So, if you were here yesterday, you'll know what work I was actually doing. Here you can see Mine-imator. The camera today works for whatever reason. I had to use a different camera yesterday. So you'll actually be able to see more of like this stuff, which is very nice. So yesterday, this is what we worked on. There we go. I will show you from the main screen. Well, I'll actually show you this view as well. We worked on this thing here, where we have this animation of her jumping up, landing, and her throwing more. You can see a bit of a nicer version there of it. Unfortunately, as you can see up here, I've done version 2. It wasn't a version 2 yesterday. I'm gonna actually have to restart all of this, as there's no point in me having this. I realized yesterday that, like, while this would be really cool to continue, not only is it taking a super long time, I just don't think it's worth in terms of, like, the actual VFX bit, because the VFX bit is going to be more so the taking this character and then putting them into another scene later on, into like an in real life scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away all this effort that I put in, but I will keep it. It is in another save so that I can, you know, not lose all of this work, because I would like to like eventually come back to it and continue on, because this is quite fun, not gonna lie. What is over here? Oh, this is just the general thing that I was doing to test. Anyway, so with this, I'm gonna go here and delete all of these points and just have her in her original space. I'm also going to delete all of these points. It's kind of sad to have all this work that I did and then I'm just gonna, you know, get rid of it, but it kind of is what it is at the end of the day. And I'll have to come back, and I do realize that none of this is going to be in the correct place now, because they all had points on them. Right. The easiest way for me to be able to do this is probably going to actually be selecting these guys. And then like dragging them to the beginning, because these will all be in like the correct place. I do want to make it clear, like, I'm not trying to be out here teaching you how to, you know, use this program. It's pretty basic, I'll be honest, if like you've ever used anything like it before. It's pretty simple, and I don't think you'll have any struggle with using it. Well, you'll have some. I had some trouble with using it, and Then again, I was using this before I even went to uni. I definitely can use it better now. So basically, here is kind of where I started off yesterday at, to be honest, like yesterday's stream. I'm just going to take away this second monitor so I can look at it properly. This is where I actually started yesterday's stream at, and I'm going to actually work on today having her do... Essentially, I thought through it yesterday, and I was like, okay, what I'll do is I'll have her kind of walk up to it, look left to right sort of thing, see nothing's around, shrug her shoulders at the camera, and then like walk through it. I am gonna attempt to see how to use... so I have a download of actual like walking stuff already, where there is in fact a walk cycle, and I don't know how that's gonna work. Ooh. So I wonder, okay, I can't just drag it in. Maybe if I can import it. I should have really tested this out before, but we'll learn, you know. Now let's try it, and it might work. Oh god. Yeah, I need to actually move stuff. That's the point. I apparently didn't delete all the stuff from this character, which I thought I had done, but apparently not. Oh. So that's done now. So if I just... I'll select all of these. I won't select the chest, actually. And then we'll try and import it again. If not, I'm happy to do a walk cycle on my own. Doesn't seem to... Okay. No leg movement on this cycle so I'm a little confused. I feel like these points shouldn't be here. They should be on this one. I don't know what is going on then. I'm just gonna delete this and I'll do a walk cycle myself. It's fine. I was trying to like not have as much work to do. I suppose what I should actually start off with is like the shrug sort of thing, because the walk cycle will be further back, and honestly it's best to kind of just do it in one movement essentially. I'm just gonna stick this on 0. Okay, no, we do want that. We do want her to be further back when she starts. Okay. So what I'm gonna very quickly get up for myself is actually a little walk cycle like reference. And it's literally just gonna be an image. I'll copy this. No, I'll save it and then I can pop it in so you guys can actually see what I'm looking at. Okay. Here's a little image that I'm gonna be referencing that you guys can like have a peek at while I'm doing it. There we go. pop it below some of my stuff to make sure that it's viewable. But basically I'll be using this as like my guide for what I'm doing for walking. I actually do need to keep it up myself though, so that I can see it. And essentially it just kind of explains how the character should move. I'll open it up in that because it's a little bit clearer for me there. Right. So if I look at it from the same direction that that is going, it doesn't show arm movements, I realize. I'm going to work on the legs and then I'll work on the arms. That makes most sense to me, just to get that movement, because then once you've done it, it's pretty clear. So this doesn't start off from like stand still sort of thing. So I'm going to actually have it so that she's walking just generally anyway, and we'll start off in like just a like standstill pose. So we'll take her right leg and we will move it forward. Obviously we want that to be on the ground, that's fine. Left leg, move it back. Now I do know that these actually do have like feet and stuff in which that they will bend, but I'm not going to use it because it's a little bit like much. Body actually will be like, I'm gonna do it like that. And then we'll just move it 50 frames because we're gonna do this in like slow paces. It's then gonna have it, the right leg, be bent on the ground like that. And this back leg actually be, it would be on the ground too. Obviously that is too slow, but I'm just doing 50 frames so that I can map each point, and then I'll actually, you know what, I'll do it so it's 20 frames. Not even that, let's just do it so it's every 10 frames that the legs change. The idea is to get a basic walk. So at 20 frames, this leg shouldn't really move. It should straighten out, actually. Oh, we don't want both of them. Just the right leg. It will straighten out and it will actually be like back here. And then left leg will be further forward with a bigger bend, like that. It's like, it's kind of starting to look like they're walking. Obviously there's no like up down bumps with the thing, with the body or anything yet, which we'll need, like I'll need to do. Basically once I've got this movement and end in, my mouse won't go over top of it, but this end movement here, if these two are the exact same at the beginning and end, I should be fine. Speaking of, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different movements. I'm not going to do it for now because it's a lot harder to actually do that in, you know, like succession. So for the right leg next, it's going to be back completely straight, and then the left leg is going to be forward, getting ready to take another step. References like this are super useful when it comes to walk cycles. You can do them from memory once you have like an idea of how they work, but if you have no idea, something like this is super useful. And actually I'm gonna just delete that point that I've just put on, and I'm just gonna straighten the leg. Then again, it should, no, I'm gonna also put the leg down. And then this leg would actually go out a little further. So if we just watch it. Yeah. And then 50, it will be essentially the opposite motion to the other one we did. And in reality, we could very easily... So this is what I did here. And what would honestly make more sense is, while there is this like walking motion here, for example, if I went back to this 10 and I took this, come out to the 50 point, go to the left leg, do that, and do the same for the right leg, just obviously with the opposite one. We'll put it on 50, and that should theoretically be the correct thing. Okay, it's not. I'll just do it manually. I always try and skip, and then like I realized I might what point was there. So left leg will bend, and then that will be, it should be flat on the ground, it's not there. Still not technically flat, I don't think. It's not. Okay. That's fine though, because like when it comes to later on, that's gonna kind of be what I need it to be. And then this one will, hello, leg, bend. There we go. We'll need to kind of be that same thing anyway. So if we just take a look at the walk now, I don't know why it does that weird. It stays in this position for too long almost. I think and then what I'll need to do is I'll need to actually bring... Really? I don't think I even need to do all of these. So I've done the bend. It should... Okay, I'm on the wrong leg for what I was trying to do. And then this one needs to actually be straight now and be back like that. We'll move on to 60. And then what we need to do is actually put this one into the exact same position as these two. Whoops. Which should theoretically be... And I think actually that motion there is not needed. And then what I can actually do is if I take these two off and I just copy and paste this at 50 and actually have it go to 50, like it will be a continuous walk cycle. And then we'll just do it again at 100. Then we'll continue on again. There we go. And that should be like a... I don't like why that takes so long. I think that one. I just want to get it back to... Okay, so that would be the end, I believe. Seemingly, so when it comes to when it comes to animating, you can very easily cut out so many frames because the motion happens for you, which is really nice in like that sense. You don't need to do like, I'm pretty sure I've done half the amount of frames that was needed in the actual thing. I'm just gonna see how... Okay, so that is definitely too quick. I think this is kind of like a leisurely pace. And now it's time to do the arms. So basically what I'm going to do with the arms is like, it'll be straight sides when legs are basically together. So like this point, arms will be at the side, slightly swinging the opposite direction. So for example here, this arm, the left arm is going to be forward. Roughly the same sort of thing as that, and that's good. The right arm is going to be back, like there. So at this point, this one will be slightly moving, like slightly more forward in comparison to this one, which will be slightly more back. And really, honestly, this could be done in less, because it would literally be swapping here. So I think I could very easily just take those out. And the only reason why I wouldn't take them out is for when I start bending them. Whoops, I don't want to actually bend the hand, I want to bend the arm. So there's that one. And the left arm, here it is. And then you can see that this will roughly kind of match up, but they kind of go straight and when it goes forward. So actually where this is here, and I'm gonna need this to just be in this 40 area so that I can paste them down so that they're at the right place. So at this 10 here, I want them to be straight, so I'm actually just going to pop two things here and then two things here. And then what I'll come and do is I'll come and because you walk like, I suppose you can walk in both ways, and like typically you walk with a little bit of like your arm will be slightly straighter as it goes back, but as it goes forward, it'll have like a bit of a bend to it. So like here, this one would go forward, you know? So if I remove this now, and like we take all of these, we pop it at 40, boom. Like, and after this first like sluggish movement, it works fine and we have a walk. What I am going to do is, you can see that in my little image it bounces up and down, and so essentially to do that I'm going to have a look at how this sits on the floor. As you can see, we can see how the bottom here lines up with it, and in this movement character will need to go down, and then but will need to be up for here. So it'd be, and then up here as well. So really at this point as well, because like, so it's only these four that are actually the first movements. So you have in the middle almost, where it still needs to be up here. It's like this movement, 1, 2, they bob down. By this point, they already actually need to be back up. And I think I might have to work on on the extra, you know? Obviously it's a lot more pronounced, like this movement would theoretically be, well, not all of it like that. This movement would actually theoretically be more like doom, doom, with this leg further out to match it. And then this whole motion would actually be like down. So 1, 2, down. But it'd be like that motion of down forward. And like in Nick with say the body at this moment, like bending forward but also being back. And like you'd have also the head here that would you'd have here and then here, because like you bounce down sort of thing. So bounce down. Ooh. And then it would bounce back up maybe. It's just, okay, I need it to stop playing because like I think the problem is this motion wouldn't be happening yet. Basically, is the issue. The next time this happens is... I don't know. If I just copy this quickly, and we'll stick it all on like here, obviously. Because it really should be happening both ways, but it doesn't, because like the second... I think I've done something wrong and I can't quite figure out what I've done. So I think what's happened is I've missed out the notion here of this. It's like we've got this motion for both. Okay, yeah, that is what I've definitely done. Need to move these back by 10. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this, pop it into the 10, delete that, paste it here, center up to the 10. And I want to change the legs and the arms and just flip the directions of them basically. So this right leg is going to be the left leg. So essentially I'll copy and paste this out here and delete that. So as you can see, I've got the arms going the wrong way as well. So I'll just copy and paste this one out. And we'll just change the position of them as well. And it's really not it should be more like this drags across and like brings leg forward. Like it shouldn't bend. So I think also the other thing that's happening is like here, it's not actually at the right height either. So you can see like off the ground. I don't know if that looks good, I'll be honest. We'll have a look. Does that need to be a 5 rather? I think this bend motion happens like too slow, maybe. In like both cases. So for example, I think it needs to be at a 5 pivot. Which is like here. Like this one happens super slow. But this one, maybe I might have to do the body after just to so if I now do this at 5, is that like where that wants to be? I think in some cases it goes really slow. She also walks through the floor a lot. Like, this motion is completely in the floor. You know? She doesn't need to move down here. Just realized I've edited all those points. Just gonna delete those quick. Sorry, bless me. Her feet are really in the ground here. Again here. A little bit there. And a bit there. I think the thing is, I actually do need a point here to have her out of the ground. Yeah. She still needs to be up here. Can't just not be. Okay, I think I've kind of got it to kind of do a good enough motion for the walk. But it'd be like dun 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 dun. So I need to work on the body again, just to give that some like motion now. It's like in my head when this full motion happens, the body would bend a little, and it'd bend this time like that way the entire time, every time. But like it shouldn't be there here. So if I just 0 and then 0 this out as well. Okay, well I've put this point in the wrong place, haven't I? Okay. I kind of want it all to just like ease in and ease out. Okay, not that. Okay, that looks like a Lego brick. I guess this is honestly kind of a good way to it's weird that this is meant to be like your ease in, ease out sort of thing. That's definitely kind of a cool way to get like a look for it. I don't know. Like, maybe I just have to do linear. Even though it doesn't quite look how I want. Sometimes you can fix what you've done. But I don't think I'm going to be able to, unfortunately. No, I'm just going to have to do it linearly. Which is like fine. It's just like, you kind of want the head to bounce as opposed to like nod up and down. But I don't know if maybe I should have with the head done more of like a, it's like a general like it goes in and like up and down. You know? It's like instead of the nod, it would simply be like a boop, 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 boop sort of thing. Okay, I'm just gonna do minus 0.2. And then I know it might just give that a little bit more of like a bobble. I don't know, it looks really bizarre. Maybe it might be just the excessive like out bend of the arm, which can be like easily kind of fixed in that you don't completely unbend it just by doing it like, yeah, we'll do it like that, although I didn't even do it on top. So every time we have an arm that goes back, essentially, like fully, which we'll have one here, I'm just gonna change it a little. This one. I don't know how this is gonna work in terms of adding more onto it. Like, it just doesn't feel very clean. I almost want to... Okay, we're gonna do something crazy. We're gonna restart. And we're gonna restart with everything in mind, and we're gonna restart with my image. Sometimes it just takes, like, time. And I'm gonna do it the 1, 7, 13, 19, and 25 are on my 10 counts. So we need this to be the highest point, and I also want legs to be wider apart. No, I don't. I want this to be my highest point. They need to be honestly at the same thing. Which I'm just gonna do is whatever touches the ground without going into it, which is gonna be this. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna do the exact same. We're gonna do the same, but we're gonna come up here and then change it to not a minus, which will mean these are exactly where they should be. I want the right arm, so I'm just gonna do like bent arms the entire way through. But I'm gonna essentially like lessen the bend. I want kind of more of a casual walk, so it's gonna be a tiny bit of a bend. So we'll actually put this onto the other arm. And it's gonna always have this bend, I think. And it's not gonna go out super far, so I do want to move where I've got this one. And I want it to be like a super casual walk. Let's do the next big pose, which is going to be this leg still straight, but it would be like back here sort of thing. So it'd be completely straight, but actually flat. So I'm gonna do this as if it didn't have a bend to it, basically. Not a bend, as if it didn't have anything to it. And we're gonna raise the entire model up to match this to the floor. I'm gonna try and do it all at once because I tried to do it piece by piece and that didn't work. So here we now have that leg move, which is roughly good. And now we want this leg to... my mouse is messing up. We want it to have quite a significant bend, really, for the position it's going to be in. It's going to be like roughly here, and it needs to be like that. So it's almost diagonal. Okay. Then we're gonna go onto 13, which is gonna be 20. And in reality, what this is gonna be is it's gonna be the left leg onto the right and the right leg onto the left. Without any sort of bend. Because the only leg that's bending here is that one. Let's go on to 19, which will be 7. So again, we're just gonna do it the opposite way around. We're gonna copy and paste them. Whoops. Onto the 30 spot. Just the opposite way around. And now we need to do this original one again. And I know I haven't done the arms, don't worry, I will get to the arms. I'm just getting, because I think I'm in quite a clean spot for what I'm doing right now. As in, it's in like the correct space. That looks pretty tidy. This will need to come down at any cross. As it's not gonna be on the ground. Again, it'd be here. And then this one will be up. So I'm just going to take my arms, and these are only going to actually be here again at this point. And then we want them to be opposite here. And I'm just going to take them and put them generally in the correct space before actually putting them in the correct space. And already this is looking like a better walk. So sometimes it's really easy to completely overcomplicate it. As you can see, like that already looks 10 times better. And I'm not trying to do like that sort of thing, which is in the actual image. So if anything, this could be the final walk. Because I have the up and the down, and like you don't typically move your head that much unless you're walking side to side. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to take off, that's in the wrong place, I've just realized, there we go. That's like a good walking pace in my mind. Makes sense. The only thing like I could maybe do that I think would be kind of cool is if you wanted to have someone like slouched over, they can walk like this. And then what I'd do is simply have it so that the head would be more straight. So I think I'm gonna have that like that. And then in reality, this, did I delete the point already? No, okay, so this last point here doesn't need to exist. And just these 4 points do, because you go to the 40 and then you can just continuously like extend this. As you can see, it's a constant walk. There's not really too many issues with it, which is good. There we go. So I've done 2 seconds of walking, which honestly will be enough to get the shots I need. And then for this, the way that you simply get this to move across, obviously I've got this moving up and down, so the only thing I'd need to change is this position to this one, in which this could end up being quite a slow walk because I'd have her walk up to here before looking at it. Okay. Now, this is genuinely, I wonder. Okay, I'm just gonna clock that back to where it was, and I'm gonna see if I can do it on the model instead, and see if that will change it to how I would need it. And look, 2 seconds is better than no seconds. And the great thing, by the way, about having walking is that, so as you can see, once you've done a walking on spot, you don't need, luckily this model actually comes with a secondary area where I can do this. When you have done 2 seconds, you can just move the character along, and while they're not actually moving, like the character itself is not actually moving from here to there, they're actually sliding technically if you didn't show the walking cycle. So here we go. We've got a little walky walk, which is very useful, and using this image did help in the end. We'll get rid of that now though. I want to have a quick look to see how far the range of the portal color is. Did I turn it off? Is that what is happening? Doesn't seem to be working my little light here anymore. Oh, I haven't got the range up at all, that is why. But like, so for example, where has it got? Oh, it's up here. But like, for example, I could do it so that when they got to here, for example, I'll just quickly put another point down here. It could have it be a more intense on them. So for example, like back here, it's like this intense, you know? And then as they get closer, it brightens up. It's like, whoa. There's this entire pool and it looks really freaky through that point. So for example, I probably wouldn't have them actually walk to the place where they currently are. I do kind of want to, I'm going to very quickly do a save as and just do a V3 because I do want to keep that whole walking cycle without accidentally damaging it. And damaging it means completely destroying it just so that I'll be able to actually come back to it. So that's quite important to me. So I've just saved another file. Hey, how do you feel about doing some quick graphics to me? IG a PNG of the you and me skins from main menu. Yeah, I'd love to. Do you want it like in this more like detailed sort of version? I can definitely work on it. It won't take too long either, to be honest. And we can talk about what sort of poses and stuff if you want that, or do you just actually want the heads? What I use for the vids would be cool. Okay, no worries. I'm happy to do that. I enjoy this sort of stuff. Like so before I found out about Mine-imator, fun little fact is what there was I think it's on Nova Skin. You could change the background color in the same way you can do this. It's just a lot harder. I'll actually open up one that I can show you. I just want to show you an old walk of mine. Where essentially you have a green screen, and the reason why you use a green screen, now if you use images, you can just remove the background, but when you use the green screen, because you can't remove the background from the video, so you can then take this into like After Effects or Premiere Pro, whatever you prefer. Honestly, After Effects would probably be better for this with my new experience with it. And then you could take this and put it on a different background. This was my first ever walk cycle, by the way, in this. It's quite good. It's not like my favorite thing though, to be honest. Anyway, let's get back to the work I'm actually trying to do. This one. This is the new one. It's a lot of a slower walk cycle, and it's more of kind of what I'm looking for, as opposed to like that bounce sort of thing that's going on. Obviously there is the bounce to like, it's very light bounce, because when you walk naturally you don't like bouncy bouncy bounce, which is sometimes the problem when you're trying to do like animation stuff. It becomes like you're trying to accentuate everything to get that across, but there's really not a need for it all the time. Like that's decent enough. And with the added effect of getting closer to this portal, it's great. It's just now what I have to do is I don't want her to actually stop so close to it. Actually, you know what? I could have her stop that close. It's just about changing, or at least adding on to the end so that she stops there as opposed to walks. So I changed this one into an actual stop in this position. So it'd be leg and stop. Obviously what you'd have to do here is you'd actually have to change the walk to stop like about here, so that it actually stops moving. And it just stops moving slightly before the end position. So if I actually, I've just realized I didn't actually change that. I changed the point light. Oops. And actually that makes sense for it to stop, like to keep expanding there. Anyway, I'm gonna jump out of this view and we'll give a good stop position for here. So this is good and all that, but I'm not. So she stops moving there. And basically where her foot is here, she needs to finish in this position to stand. As this is where it stops. So I want it to stop, like, for the motion to be here, but this leg, which is her left leg, will need to stop here. So I'm actually just going to pop a little thing here, and then we can delete this one. Because it's going to... Essentially what needs to happen is wherever that foot ends, needs to... it'll need to go there. And then here we would... Because it's also already straight, which is good. But what I can do is I can pick it where this ends on the ankle, which you can't see me doing currently, but I promise you I am doing it. Just pop out. For some reason it's all the way over here. And I've now lost where this point was, unfortunately. I should theoretically be able to move this one, as this one's actually doing all my movements. So if I actually just zoom in here, we'll click on this one. Foot stops there. So when it comes to here, I'm going to want to do a little point here. And I want to do position. There we go. And I've got my nail on the screen to try and figure out where this would go. So as you can see here, like, that's how that is now. And then we'll have the right leg. Instead of go into that move, I'm going to just literally have it go straight. So theoretically, it should look alright. We kind of still want the bend though, like that initial bend that was there. So I almost want it to be like that and then come down. Ooh. Let's just zero both of these out, because otherwise that bend will happen really quick is what I'm finding. I'll just pop that a little bit further out. Like, yeah, that works, actually. Like, quite a bit. And then, because obviously the arms will just swing, like, back into this position over here. Technically, they would swing to here, where she would have taken that original step. So it'd be like da-da-da. So they would have gotten to at least... I'm gonna actually secure these points. And then I'm just gonna have the arms go straight here. Which honestly, what's nice about these models is they have their secure points. I almost want the arms to actually come forward a little bit, because like it would be kind of like then a move back. So instead of being so far back, let's do this one. It would be like there, and then this one would be a little bit further back. And I do need her to like straighten her back up, because if you remember, I did I took her back and I bent it to see what that would do. So I think at the same time here, I'm gonna take the body and just straighten it up. And then at this point, I want the head. So we'll take this. I think actually, as she comes forward, I almost want her to start like I think by this point, really, I'm trying to figure out like what I've done here. Okay, I've just got her head in the same position, I think, the entire time. So I don't know why I actually have all of these different points for it. Unless it's the position I've changed and I just haven't noticed that I've done that. No, I've literally not changed it. So I'm gonna leave... I'll take it and then I'll put it to here. And then at this point, what I want is for her head to be like looking up. And a simple way to do this is, oh, I want her body. Oh no, I've just realized that's why it wasn't doing anything. Oh no. Okay, let me just get back everything for her body. Then again, it doesn't change. I just need that beginning and original end. I feel like actually her back would start to straighten at like the same sort of time as like her head would go up. So I think with her head I actually did do some sort of positioning thing. I didn't. Her head's all in the same position, so I don't know why I've done that and why I've got so many points from it. I think it was the habit of doing it. But really, by the point here, I want her head to be like, what? Like, look at this thing that exists. Speaking of as well, I don't think she is completely straight with it. Which doesn't really matter necessarily. It's kind of frustrating. I might just center her up a little here. And then take that exposition and just show it on the first one so that she's not walking like side to side. Oh, and I'll need to do it on all these as well. Which isn't an issue. Actually, it's really good to have this secondary model position to where I can play with those things after having animated the walk on the main model. Okay, so let me just look at this a little closer. So in reality, there'd be kind of like she's walking like low down, and I think I might actually do this and have it be more like she doesn't know what she's doing. And if I just have it so her head's down there, we'll take this, we'll add it on here, and it'd be more like she's walking and she doesn't know what this is. And like it'd be like here. So for example, in this model that I don't think I've really shown at all, there's this facial rig. And currently you can see that there's nothing done on it. I want to play with the eyes. I just need to figure out like which bits do what here. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want to play with like the eyes in general. I know there should be a bit in which I can just play with like the shock. Oh, I think it might actually be if I do this and I'm like that like widen expression, you know? And then it would be one here and it would be like it would take a little longer for that motion, I think. And then, like here it would get even bigger almost. Like the fun thing about this as well is I can also at the same time like play with the mouth. Oh my god, I'm having such a hard time like trying to figure out the general thing. So like this is the mouth bit that you can play with. Obviously she's walking now, which is slightly harder to like pay attention to almost. I can't easily move over where I want. I wish like you could just move back and forth in this, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, anyway. There we go. God, I didn't want to actually play with it just then. What I'm also going to very quickly do is, because I currently don't need to see the nether pool, I'm actually going to move it out of my way because it's in the way. Like really at this point where she's like seeing this, she's like, what? It's like, who? I think the mouth should really open. Okay, yeah, so I quite like that, where like she opens her mouth and like she's like, okay. She stands still, and I actually think for the eyes it'd be really cool to have her like, so we'll just take that back a little. To like the then one. And I think really mouth should be closing as well here. And I don't know what the original sizes for that is, so I'm actually gonna come out here. And I'm gonna have her blink a few times. And just have it be like an action that happens. And I do want her to actually have her eyes open. And then here, I think what's actually happening is like, in this whole movement, she actually takes her head and she like will bring it down here and she'll like shake it. That definitely happens too quick. And then that motion also happens too quick. I think I might actually need her to like blink again just to make that kind of work. Then as she's opening her eyes back up, she'll go to this position here. It kind of feels like almost too quick. And so the other thing I can do with the mouth is I can actually bend it. And I think I'm gonna use this slightly less closed mouth. And I'm not quite sure how to use this bend. And I think here is when I'll just take this bend off for both of them. And then, because I think it's fine for her to kind of be like sad back here. I think this notion needs to be further out. Okay, maybe it needs to take even longer for her head to come back out. I seem to be having some like weird kind of graphic-y things going on to where it's like really slowly trying to do it. Like, if you can see what I mean, it's kind of being really jumpy. Like, just on this one thing. And I can't tell whether it's the animation. It definitely seems like when I added these mouth bends in, like it caused some issue. Because like bringing those back in, it does a hell of a number to it, so I'm actually going to delete those out. And then when this has happened, I'm then gonna have it be so that she'll like look left to right, but I want it to be like fully bent over, like knees kind of bent sort of situation. So I'm gonna need the actual I'm gonna need this back so I can see how to do it. I'm gonna have her like take a step forward with her leg, you know. So I'm gonna remove the facial rig and the head stuff for now. So basically I need to actually just for now, in all these points where she currently is, I'm just gonna go to 200, and on the head, the body, the model, the Ken model, her arms, and her legs, I'm just gonna have these all like set so that they don't then move randomly. And then I can actually go in here and change things. Like, I want the leg to be kind of bent, like she's stepping forward to kind of look around. Of course, this leg actually needs to be on the ground. So it's going to need to be kind of like that, I think. And this is going to seem really weird, what I'm about to do. But, I forgot that is okay, I'm going to have to do this just through general brain stuff. It's going to be in the position. I keep forgetting that. No, it's not. It should be in the rotations. Oh, why doesn't she rotate in the way I want her to rotate? That is incredibly frustrating, in fact. I want her to... whoops. Rotate forward. Oh, she will. I just have to do this. Okay. Well, that's fine. I can deal with that. It is minorly annoying to try and sort out where she'll be flat. I think it's roughly almost there. Okay. And then I will obviously have to line this up in a minute with everything else. So the left leg I now want to be bent, but like not bent. So I want that to be more of a step forward as opposed to a bend back. So her foot needs to go beyond the position that it's currently in. So we'll click onto the model. And unfortunately, this has got a really weird trajectory. Now. Okay, this is gonna take some fiddling, my friends. Don't even know how this looks. Okay, so in this, she will actually need to have her right leg come up before going down. And it will actually need to be bent more. Obviously this thing happens way too quick, as you'd expect. It just looks weird because this leg should really be staying where it was, but it goes so far back. So in reality, this needs to take her to the front point of this foot. So I've got to somehow do this while maneuvering two different things because of the rotation of this now. And then this way. So like, if you can see what I'm trying to do here, it wouldn't happen this quickly. Obviously, she'd kind of stand here. I'm trying to exaggerate this like specific position. I'd want her arms to be going up into like, what's nice is I actually don't have to worry about these being like wrong, and I'd want it to be back. Like that, and I'd also want the same basic thing for this, so what I'll do is I'll copy and paste it, and we can just put these into minuses, I believe, and that should put it is the correct thing. So it would be like, and she'd be like 1, 2, so it'd be like a twist of the body. And she'd twist and be like 1, 2, and in this motion we'd also need her head to obviously turn, so it'd be like, and like, not that. We'd also change her actual facial features here. Course. Just realized that these things I actually want to stay still when she initially lands. So she'd land like this. So it'd be like, I almost feel like this is again like too much of an exaggerative move. Yeah, I think it is. I'm gonna just take it out because I can't make it look good, so I don't want to use it. Whereas you have like this look here. And I might just make her like kind of take a step to the side maybe. As opposed to what I was originally trying to do. And I want her mouth to close again. It's been wide for too long, in my opinion. I'm gonna take this. We'll take it down here. Okay, my mouse is being super sensitive right now. Not what one asked for whatsoever, and I don't know why that's actually started tapping. Okay. Let's have a quick... Oh my god. Okay, right. This is gonna get very frustrating very quickly, I think. That's actually kind of really cool right now. Just like, that like, whoa, you know? Getting messages. I don't know what they are though. I don't have a Snapchat message, so why it'd be like that? Oh. Right. Okay. I don't know what happened to the sensitivity of my mouse and why it suddenly becomes so sensitive. Okay, I think I've maybe not for my Zoom apparently, but the general the general things maybe? I don't know. I just think with the lighting this is really cool. Especially if like we were to watch it all the way back from the beginning with that lighting. Just the way like she lights up with it. Anyway, we don't really want to animate in that because it's just a little annoying to see. So after she's done this, I was originally gonna have a like, she's like, shrug sort of thing. But I think I'm gonna have it more like she's entranced by it, I guess. Because like she's tried to shake her head from it. And I think the one way I can do that, if I can get this to freaking get me close enough to her face, that'd be great. I'll close the mouth, eyelids. Just trying to find the ones that I've edited from this section, which should be here. Which must have been... Okay, it was the eye part. Okay, yeah. It's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do that. Also on the pupils, I'm gonna do this. Because I now want, like, the pupils to get big, you know? I want them to scale, not... That's a bizarre choice. Because there's that option. I was hoping to be able to make it so that the eyes would, like, themselves, the pupils would enlarge, but the only thing that happens is that. Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, changing their color to, like, purple. And, like, having the glow color be, like, the purple shade. And then we just mix it. because in reality, sorry, I just need to be able to see everything. This shouldn't last that long. Oh, I've moved it too far now. And I think with the lighting, that might show a bit better, like, what's going on here. Because, like, I think you can tell that her eyes. And I almost want it to, like, completely make her look like she's devoid. You know? And then she can have, like, a really... She can do the walk again. But it will have to be out of this position, and I don't know how well that's gonna work. I just take away those things so we can't see them. And I'm gonna bring this up slightly so I can, you know, get a better look. So here we go. I almost want this stuff to happen, like, take a longer time to happen. Doesn't quite make sense for that to take so long though. I need the colour going on here in the eyes because it doesn't take long enough. And basically, the idea is from this point of view, it would be like really close to her face, and it'd be like, oh. And then she'd walk into it. Okay, so at 70 frames is where I want, and I want that same position. So 70 to 110. And then basically this will be the 10 frames before. And then it would start here at 240, where it comes to bringing character forward to about 290, I'd say might be like the decent size to get to this point. So this is like the right speed, it's just that there's not enough of it. Oh, and it's because I've used that one. And it does stop at 290. Okay, I'm just going to take this off quickly. So really, this position should be the whole stand there, hop into it, and then jump out the other side. So it'd be like the jump that we were doing yesterday, just with a lot more to it. So basically it'd be... I don't know if I'd actually want this to be even slower. So in essence, it'd be taking here. And it'd take longer for that short walk. So we got it at 340 there. So in reality, I think this is actually the position that she ends in over here, just the opposite way around. So if I copy this and just do it for the opposite leg, why can't I copy? Can I not even copy it? I don't understand. And then this would just go to 0, 0. And then jump. Which jumping with this character with all the moving parts is gonna be really quite hard to do, unfortunately. Because theoretically what I want is I want the bounce. And I almost want, like, the jumping thing that I had from the other one. Because I don't want her to climb up it, that'd be a lot of work. I just want it to jump like in Minecraft. I wonder. So, as I showed, I think, last time, we have this, like, jump motion. Obviously, there's a lot of things that, like, aren't needed here, and honestly, I'd only take the leg movement of the jump. So it would be... I'll just go to the first jump. It'd be from still to... and then land. And the land is actually, like, that. And I'd only want the legs. And I'm gonna see if I can copy and open into my version 3 and then paste them in. I can't. Okay. I also don't know how to, like, save as... Like, I don't know how to actually save those. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to do the jump from scratch. No, one sec. Let me test. Let me have a look. Mine-imator. Save key. Frames. Okay, apparently this is just a suggestion. Now I know you can, because I tried it earlier, but I know I can also, you know, just do this myself. With like the bend and everything, and it does need technically this matching up here for it to really work. So I'm actually gonna have to do that, and make sure these things are all in place, really. Even the head, the right leg and the left leg all need to be like here to be safe, you know? And then we'll just do it at like 380 for now, where these legs will bend. I'm gonna put them at exactly 90 degrees. And then I'm gonna take the body, and we're not gonna bend it, we're gonna actually take this and put this at 90 degrees, and then we're gonna bend it as well. I wonder if I can actually just take this one and then change it like this to -90, and whether this will actually end up working better than trying to change that. Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. You know what? That's not even looking too bad. It would just be about, you know, taking the arms now. Really, this motion would. And then we just literally minus these guys. And it would be in the right position. If you can do it without actually changing it, that's great. Apparently I didn't need to change the X. Apparently I just needed to change the Z. And then here, it would actually be... These arms would be in. Whoops. No, didn't want to do that. Where I currently am, his arms would go in. Then some more. and then they would end up back in. It'd be like bend. Honestly, it only needs to go down to like this length, so I don't know why I've been so like, oh, it must be this low, you know? On like the legs. So I'm actually just gonna very quickly just be like, here's that one, you know? Oh, I've done the arms. And this one. And instead move that and just where's the model bit? And I'm actually gonna just take these three and then move them here. And I can here then actually just and then it would be a it'd be this it'd be this and for the arms, it'd actually be them like going up and bending out. So it'd be like, huh. And I'm just gonna copy this one and then flip the Z. So it'd be like, huh, bend, and then at this point, before they even start moving up, what should be happening here is this should be at 0. Really, it should just be this one here. And it should just be like Doom. Doom. And yeah, it should be up. But I actually think this left leg should be bending. Wish there wasn't that extra one that kept popping out. And if anything, I think this whole movement should be like a little forward. With the legs slightly bent. And like this one even like so then this way at least appears like then really at this point it would be up here. And it should be more... Ooh, I'm actually in control of the camera right now. Be more like... and... and then body being like bendy, you know? With like leg kind of doing its own like and then it would be seen like this, like half on, to where this would then actually be something else. So I'm curious to see what this actually looks like all together at this point. We'll just watch it from like this perspective. Sam! I don't know if you heard me. Sam! Sam, 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 Sam. I hope you can hear me. Please look at my screen. I want to show you. Okay. Okay, you're looking. Okay. Sorry, I was sending off a message at the same time. But look at it. Like jump halfway through, and then obviously I need to animate like this the whole way through. I think this jump does need to be faster. And also a bit more smooth. Because, like, it doesn't happen very quickly. And it's, like, literally this bit that doesn't happen very quick. I don't know how to... I think it's also because she doesn't go all the way through that it looks a little weird. So, for example, I think if I just change this to her literally going all the way through. Yeah, so like... I think it definitely needed the original bit here where it's... Then it needs like yet another one where she's also moving forward. And like she can actually at this point come forward and like hit the ground really. I think she's actually like hitting the ground there, yeah. It doesn't flow very well quite yet. Because like nothing moves. And like this isn't a very flowing thing because like I've got so many different things happening. So from like here to here, not much changes. So let's just take this point out. So I think legs need to like move. So it'd be like here, I think by this point, really legs should be straightening out. So we'll go in and we'll actually zero that and have it like be more, actually bend can still like happen. But this leg needs to like almost do the opposite of what it was doing a second ago. So I'm gonna have it straighten out. And like just be like here. And like even the arms I think are gonna have to like try and prepare for a landing here. Oh gosh, okay. And I think it's only the Z I need to change. Let's see what that kind of looks like. I think that actually gives more of that smooth. I'm just gonna hide the nether pool to see what it looks like. Okay, so you bend and she just kind of ends up in the air. And that doesn't look very natural. I feel like there needs to be like almost at this point before any movement goes up. There really needs to be like something else happening. Dang it. Like the problem is like here I need to readjust. Okay, so I don't know why, for whatever reason. Oh, we're just gonna change it to that. No, I don't quite I just don't want her to go up yet. It's like, the Y needs to change then. Dang it, I literally just copied and pasted the one I didn't want to copy and paste. It's like she's already up in the air here. And I don't want her to be. The air would happen there. And I think this helps give that more of that. Yeah, that helps a lot bit more, like, just being like, do. And obviously, like, it looks really bizarre, not only without the nether portal, but, like, with her just kind of stopping midair. I think she might need to stop a little bit further back. Which would literally... it's kind of a lot of effort to stop, to move her back at this point. Because I'd have to take, I think it's the Z, yeah. Admittedly, I don't think I've changed the Z on any of these. Okay, it is there. It is there. I'm just gonna try, and I think at that point... Okay, let's see. Okay. So I need to actually change this. And this point. I need to move it there. Same on this one. It needs to still be lining up the feet. And really, this one should be more forward. Okay, so that one's slightly curved. It's... I can't tell which one's doing it. It feels like it's this one, but like it's not. It just seems to have this like weird back and forth between the two. Like, almost like you need to compensate for whatever is happening there, you know? I do need to actually... I think this is actually what happened last time. Where I wanted to take the Y. Okay, this might have been what was going on just then. Somehow I've made it flow better. Except from this, where like it doesn't quite flow there. It shouldn't move forward here. So I'm gonna move this back a little. I need to compensate here, because there we go. We'll just put that on there. Okay, we'll turn this off now so we can actually see a bit better. It's also just seeing like the light and stuff, which is quite a good thing. So let's just watch this from the beginning. Just so I can get a clear sense of what's happening. And basically, this bit here, it would cut to like this after the eye, where you could see her walking. And it would, I say it would cut to it, it would be more like here, where you can't see the other side, and like it would pan across essentially as she does that second walk. I can actually take the camera and start doing some of this. It's just, you know, trying to... Okay, we'll do -90. And that's its starting position. So... from where this walking would begin again, essentially. We're gonna want to be able to see the workspace. I want to be able to see this. And so the idea here would be as she walks, it'd be roughly here. So let's just have a look. Okay, so it actually needs to like be even slower. So I'd say I'd want it to actually stop there. I'm just gonna get rid of this point here. So in reality, like, this is a terrible shot. You wouldn't want that to be quite... You'd actually want that to be, like, not center. And what I'd want is, like, when she is in this jump, for this to start panning. So the jump happens, like, roughly... I can pick it up there. It would then start panning, and we can actually take a peek at where it would end up at. But it'd also want to be further down. And you'd actually want this to also have that Y. And also the Z, really. Never mind, not the Z. I'm guessing I meant different thing. You'd want this to pan a lot slower. I don't know why it's moving so much. I don't like that note. In reality, you would have wanted that to pan this entire walk. So you'd want this to actually pan from here. Obviously, you can't have it do that because the problem is then that you completely cut out too soon what's happening here. The only way to really fix that is if you you change the X. But you want to try and hide what's obviously happening. And the only way I can think of doing this, like, logically, is having her be center to this on this walk the entire time. But you need it to obviously not go past when she's no longer center, so she stops here. Like, she's not going to move anymore there, so it needs to stay center on her, and by that it actually needs to be closer. And the closer is the X, so I'm just going to come here and change my X on all these guys. I feel like I just had a cat. That was really weird. But I don't actually want that to move until after she's already left. So until she started coming through, I don't want to even see that. And basically, this can be a lot longer. In that, I mean, we want to see her in the center the entire time. She's not in the center the entire time though. Because really, by the point that she gets into that position, we should be here. The only other thing like I can do is have it pan out and around, but I think this is kind of like a cool concept to have her walking, blah, 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 walk, 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 jump, and then that be it. I actually think that's okay. This is where the eye color changes, I believe. So for example, for this, we would, because we want to see that eye color change. It doesn't happen for a while, I think. I think it starts maybe like here. So we can rotate this 108 minus 180. Raise it up. It's not on her face. This is her face. Take it back a little bit. You could also just go like directly onto her eyes. Like that, and that could also be like an equally as cool shot. I want that to be not that. 78 was good. And then basically what you do is you just keep it in this position this entire time. And then this one, in reality, would be the frame after. Obviously, it's better. So what I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna have the one camera. You could also have multiple different cameras, and then you can just do these scenes all separately, and I'm tempted to do that, because then I can just cut them where I need to cut them, and I can do that all in post. But I can also just, because I've got quite a bit where it's like, that's kind of the scene I need there. Honestly, the scene I kind of want here is like, actually, let's get back to where I'm looking at. I don't necessarily want that there. I actually want it to be, sorry, I just meant 90. And I want it to be down, which is going to be very hard to look at. And like, did that just create a random thing? Okay. Okay, obviously the benefit to working with all the same cameras is that you can see a bit better, and it's very hard to see that. What way is this pointing right now? It shouldn't be pointing in that direction, actually. I want it in this, so we're gonna do it. The center. Oh. It's just the wrong way around. It needs to be minus 180, and I haven't got it working there. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna... What just happened? Hello? Okay, it won't let me... I do want to actually have a new camera. And I'm gonna name them all afterwards. So I do want this beginning note to... And I can just call this, beginning walk. And then I can delete this and this, and then I can just select the camera that I want, basically. That'd be cool if there was more light in this scene. Unfortunately, because there isn't that much light, it just kind of looks a little, like, wonky. Because, like, I could have it where it's just... Um, and then I'm going to change this one to eye color change, and we'll just keep that one on. We can then add in another camera, which we'll name Jump Through Portal. Also, the reason why I'm not putting any spaces in these is just so that I can, like, I know which one I'm looking at, essentially. Like, I know that they're cameras. So we'd have the eye color change. And then it would immediately cut to this sort of thing. Although I actually wanted this camera to follow her. From this, like, center point. To be like, we'll just put the grid on so I can actually center. Yeah, so I've got her actually pretty close to... Oh, that looks so much better. Okay, let me just see what this camera looks like. And then it jumped to this camera. And I actually think from the perspective of where this one is, I think I'm gonna change this. And I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. And not there. Paste it here so that I can, wish there was just like a... I think I can... I want to, like... That doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter. That doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this off. Hi Sam, you alright?
Thought I'd come say hello.
Hello, welcome. I'm currently trying to zoom in onto this face at the correct angle. I think I need to turn that camera off.
A good angle.
I'm trying to get it so it's the same angle as the other camera, basically. So that it looks like it jump cuts to a zoom in. Oh shit, I did the wrong thing. Of the eyes. But you want the eyes to be center.
Currently working on my mod pack.
How's it going?
It's going.
It's going, is it?
Yeah.
Good.
I've called it Epic Mod Pack 2, even though there wasn't a public release of the first one.
How come?
Because it was either that or Biggin.
Biggin?
Because it's a Biggin.
Oh, I see.
Although, now that I say it like that, I do kind of appreciate it quite a lot, and I'm very tempted.
I'm just trying to think of like angles for this to where it's a little bit more interesting. Like, I can very easily like just do like some feet essentially with this same sort of thing. I like this one for the eyes because it's very clear to what it is.
Yeah.
I think in this, actually, where these eyes are, I'm gonna have the mouth close.
Yeah.
Are
you gonna put a Minecraft world in?
I don't know.
I think you should, because it looks a bit bland besides it.
It's gonna
it'll
be
add a nice element to it. I know it's not for very long, but
the thing is, I don't necessarily think it needs to be. Is like my thing.
Yeah, but it'll look better, and you know that's true.
It will. It just depends how much time I have. I almost want the mouth to close part way through.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I don't like animation, she says. I hate doing animation.
What? I never said that.
You said you hated it when you were doing it for uni. I suppose you hated fucking... What was it? What did you animate in? Maya?
I animated Maya. It's not like too much of a problem. I think there's some things like that are a lot better with Maya. Not necessarily in terms of its animation, but in terms of like when creating characters, like you can model them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I like being able to rig my own model, which I attempted to do in the big in one of the last streams, because then you can add things like IK handles in, which basically, so the IK handles, the stream won't be able to see it, but I'll try and do it. So basically, say you have a straight arm. If you have an IK handle that is at this point at your elbow, so at your shoulder, at your elbow, and then at your hand, or at least at your wrist, more so. If you were to then just move this one like little thing, if you moved it in like this, it would automatically push the arm in.
Mm-hmm.
It would also allow you to attach the hand to something, keep that in that place, and have the rest of the body move around. So like for climbing, it's very useful, and it's one of the things I use when animating. The problem with Maya with animating is, whereas this is very clear, like you can see everything, you can't see everything that you've animated. And if you want to like animate every point, I never was able to find a way to like just animate every point straight out. I had to click on every single thing to animate it to that point. Whereas here I can just go click, 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 click. Whereas on that it would be having to click every individual thing, and there was a lot of pieces to it.
Yeah.
Animating in Maya is just a little bit more annoying, but this isn't. I wouldn't say this is my favorite like thing, like in terms of the model.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to necessarily. I would love to be able to have taken it and put some IK handles on it, but I also don't know if Mine-imator even supports IK handles. It probably doesn't, but it has got. It just means that when you want to bend the leg and have them look like they're bent down, you have to also adjust the whole body so it doesn't look like that. Like what I've done this entire time. So it makes things like walk cycles a little bit more annoying. And like this has been a nightmare to get to work.
But you did it.
I did it. I still have to. Thank you. I'm gonna animate the entire scene, like what it would look like when like they fell through, obviously. And I'll render it out a bunch of different times with the different cameras, and then I'll also completely remove the scene anyway, and it'll be a green screen when I'm filming for this side.
Okay. Enjoy.
Yay. It's just taking a while. Do you know when dinner is?
I'm pretty sure we're sorting dinner tonight, so
is
whenever
it free
you
for?
want.
I don't know if I'll be streaming later or not. Probably.
I can make you something whilst you're streaming. I'm just messing with text files at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can play Minecraft where you can mess about with configs for different mods.
I feel like I'm playing Minecraft right now.
You're gonna be Minecraft out?
I don't think I'm gonna be Minecraft out. Like, this is not playing Minecraft, it's obviously just looking at Minecraft, more so. But like...
Oh, I ripped out Optifine, by the way, because it was causing issues, and honestly, it's just a pain in the ass. Because you never get permission for it, and its licensing is a pain in the ass, so if I was ever going to release it public, there's no point trying.
Yeah.
I might have to kill some other bits due to licensing issues, but, you know, I'm not going to steal and then publicly redistribute, because That's illegal.
Yeah. I'm just trying to decide like whether I want to like finish now, for example, and then play a game later, or whether I just want to go in for like the last 20 minutes for this to be 3 hours and then this only be it for today. But then it's like I still kind of need to continue on with my work, so I don't know. Or should I, like, the other option is continue on with this until we decide we're gonna have dinner.
When do you want dinner?
I don't know.
Not first.
I don't know.
I'm helpful.
What are we planning for dinner? I wonder if I have a cheesy pasta packet. I don't know.
I don't even know. I ruined your other packet.
I had 4 though.
You've had like 4.
I'm pretty sure I have 1 left.
You might have 1.
I hope so.
Well, we can sort dinner at like 6 or something. Continue or whatever.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I don't know. I suppose it would depend how I feel.
I'll tell you what, message me. I'll sort myself till then. I love you.
I love it too. I hope this one scene is going to be worth it, because like even just I hope this will be counted as like VFX just generally, because like it technically is VFX. Oh, okay, that's another. So we have the beginning walk here. So we have the beginning walk, which actually I want to flip so it's not just that, but I'll leave it for that for now. I want to duplicate the camera. I don't know if that just... What did that even do? Yeah, I wanna duplicate it, please. Oh, it did do it. Okay. Right, it just threw it to the bottom and then didn't scroll down. Okay, so I want to bring 3. I'm gonna actually have this one be before the beginning walk. It's gonna be a very similar thing. It's just for that variety. Sorry for my weird wobble just then on speaking. And also, okay, let's just hide this camera. We're turning it to minus 90 degrees now. We also want that to be 0, and we're gonna take it back enough so I can see her down. I wanna drop it to just the feet. We'll just center it. Like, I could theoretically have this one be where it's just a still camera. And, like, she walks through it. So, like, she walks through it. We would then... Which, if I just literally do this... Transfer... I feel like for more like continuity, it needs to. I want it to still like stay in the same space, but I do want it to be more like turned, focused on feet. Obviously she starts walking there, so in reality. It would be like here. Yes, like, that's good. I want to then also change the camera there as well. So this is beginning walk. This is going to be beginning walk 2. This will be beginning walk 1. This will be shake head. And so I just want to take all these points away. Not all of them. I want to take that one away and that one away. I also want to hide this camera so I know I'm looking at the right camera. And I kind of want to follow the head with this one. So we currently have so like I almost want this to that. And I think I can actually just copy this one. Where it'd be like, okay, I've decided I don't want to do that. I do need one of those left over so I can actually do what I want though. I'm gonna actually take it an up thing. I almost want it to be even lower, like. The problem is I'm low-key breaking the 180-degree rule by having it on that side. So it needs to be more like here. Oh, that could be kinda cool actually. If like, I don't know what control I was actually playing with just then. Basically, the only way you can really do this is if you do it like that. And then you continue it around. I almost actually just want this, so I want this to almost just be on like kind of an uncomfortable angle, like an angle you wouldn't expect. Is there any way for me to take these head movements and just put them into like this mode? That actually looks really good. And I feel like what I'd want though is I'd want some distortion on the camera here. So like a little bit of camera shake essentially. So here we'll change it. It'd be like I don't quite know how this works. I'm a little confused. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back here and turn this shake off. And then... like, it's almost just going in the wrong place. I need Photoshop help. How do I make something more transparent instead of opaque? So if it's just one particular layer that you're looking at, on the side of Photoshop, you should be able to there should be something called opacity that you can drag down. One solid color. Okay, 1 second. Let me... just like 50%. Okay, yeah, I can show you. Just give me a couple seconds. So it's one layer, right? It's just one layer. It's not something on a layer that you're trying to do, yeah? Yeah, okay, cool. So let me just... So here's Photoshop. Yes, I am doing this. Here's your layer. There's this thing called opacity, and you just need to go onto this layer and do 50%. You just type it in. It won't affect any other layer. All your other layers will still be whatever. For example, I can very easily just come in here. I can pick a random color and now throw this in the background. Actually, let's do it to like orange. And then here's a gradient because I've got this one. And like, it can do that. And then it's now tinted, for example. Does that answer your question? That actually looks really cool. I'm not even gonna lie. I wonder what it'll look like with purple. Where was opacity? It's over here in this corner. And you literally just drop it down, you can move it, or you can actually type in the stuff here. I think a better way to do the color thing that I just did would be to do like multiply or something like that if you want to like affect the image directly. You can also do that the opposite way around. And you'll get a very similar thing. I don't want to make it purple. And now it just looks kind of like the original image. Anyway, like normal multiply. Just that little bit more purple. Okay, cool. I'm glad you found it. I'll go back to my work. Oh. Like, it's alright. Like, I don't mind. I like Photoshop, so, you know, it is pretty good. I don't know, like, how much I like this angle, and honestly, I kind of like it as, like, them walking through it, you know? But, like, you wouldn't want that, really. And I wouldn't really know if this is, like, this shot here would work, like, until afterwards. Like, at this point, I would want to, like, cut to this camera. I mean, I think it would work. Like, I don't see why it shouldn't work, really. But, I mean, currently we have it where 1, 2, 3 to I'm looking at the wrong camera. I wonder if, because it does say, like, if you click on the cameras it should change them, but it just doesn't, which is really unfortunate because that would make it a lot easier for me to do what I'm trying to do. And then again, I think I can actually just be like da 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 da. And again, that didn't work because I didn't actually click on the camera. Alright, okay, so we've done some camera stuff today, which was a little bit different, a little bit more frustrating camera stuff, because you start to kind of notice, like, things when, like, you do it. I think I actually do like the camera, like, shaking. And I'll be honest, I think I'm gonna, while I remember about it, I'm gonna come in here. Never mind, I want that up actually. And I'm just gonna very quickly get an image of it. I'm on the wrong camera. And I'm just gonna go ahead and be like, shake head. And I'll probably set that as like today's stream thing. The only other thing I could think to set is like today's stream, I guess seeing as like it's quite a big part of what we've done today, would be to be like that. I just don't think this is like viewable right now. Oh, my back is hurting slightly. I suppose the thing that we have left to do is to I'm actually going to get rid of this for now. The thing that we have left to do really is this over here. Because like that's kind of an important thing to like have, you know.
Changed. Oh, sorry, didn't know you were in here.
Right. I'm just gonna put this in a folder called cameras. The door's not shut properly. I'm gonna go shut the door. Breathe. One sec. Breathe. Gosh darn. Really want you to be lazy and like not have to get up. It's fine. Okay, so I've got to basically figure out how she's gonna go. Now, one idea I had. Cake. Cake is good. Hello, not default. Welcome. That cake though. Okay. I mean, there's no cake here. I'm not quite sure what you're referencing. Nice try for whatever you just tried to type in my chat. Okay. Well... Okay. Anyway, back to what I'm doing. Yeah. Thank you for getting on that, Sam. I appreciate. We very much prefer that random comments or spamming, really, which is what you were doing, I'm afraid. We prefer not to have that. Some people Anyway, so trying to figure out like how this is gonna roll, I was gonna either have them like dive and just land on their back, or like dive and manage to roll. Oh, you just banned them outright. Okay, I mean, fair. I can kind of appreciate. Ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, the fact that their account is quite literally non-default, like not default, kind of just, I mean, tells me that, you know, it's the account that they just want to bother people with. So I'm sure if they really want to sit in these streams, they'll come on their actual account, you know? And then if the same behavior arises, they'll once again be removed. Okay, I think I'm gonna have them like roll over. So it'd be like, okay, that's body, not the whole thing. I almost want to change like the rotation point, because I've just realized this is gonna be really freaking annoying. But if I change the rotation point now, it will ruin every other bit of work I've done. And I've just got to roughly like, boom. And then here, I also want their body to like bend. So I need to actually completely redo where I've just put this to get it in the right place for the hand. I mean, that looks quite good. Like, obviously it's not timed necessarily correctly right now. I'm gonna like want the legs to at this point like kind of come here with a bend, and again the other leg as well. Oh, not that foot. In reality, I actually want them to rotate even more around in this like time. So here they're actually going to have to be higher up. This looks really funny. Just like, wow. And then once that position's there, they will continue to roll onto their back. So they're gonna actually need to be just higher up here to accommodate the square. It's like here too. Honestly, I think this one should just be like as if they bounced after hitting the ground. And then it'd just be like another... Okay, and in this, like, the legs will need to move. So I think it's pretty safe to say, like, the arms are gonna, like, come forward now. And the leg is gonna, like, attempt to, like, obviously the back has yet to like straighten out or anything. This is gonna be slightly hard to do, I think, now that I look at it. Okay, so this is where the head ends up here. Now if I... Really, it won't be until this point that the back will straighten out. Will like straighten out, sorry. And to do this, I'm gonna have to also sort out the head so it's not in like a non-straight position as it currently is. And then we'll come back. I've got roughly where the corner should land, I believe. I also think it's part because the body is like not angled correctly. Oh my god. okay. And if I actually make it so that the foot at this point is what is hitting the ground. Hi Tassel, how you doing? The foot hits. I'm almost tempted to kind of have them like just happen to luck with like standing up. Like just kind of like, how? Ugh. But at the same time, it's more like boom and then hit into it, so it's almost like there's still like an interaction between the two. So it'd be like hit and then I think if I come onto, is it the left or right leg? Right leg. And it'd be like a slight bend and then whole body like I don't really want to necessarily want it to be more like falls and hits into here, but I do need like the entire body to be straight right now. So I'm just gonna make sure that everything is in fact straight. Turns out it's not, but it's okay. I just want to do it as like a test. Okay, so this needs to basically be straight. I don't quite know how to... Okay, so that's not straight. This would be straight. So like kinda minus 90, I guess. Is it so stupid? Like have them go, hey, it's no problem, you know? Just what you gotta do for each other. That sounds so weird, just like, just what you gotta do, you gotta help each other out, you know? I mean, it's true though. I'm looking for the body in the back. There we go. This does mean I have to play around with this. Okay. It's a lot easier though to work from a flat thing than a non-flat thing. Let's go to the head and actually just flatten it. Then we can sort out the legs. Which we can like bend. And also just like, oh. Oh, frickin' heck, not what I wanted to do. We're gonna want to move the head as well in this situation and just have it be like, ugh, like out. And then the arms, where just gonna stick them to 0 as well, or almost to 0 apparently, because I didn't do that one. Because the one I want is I want that one, and then I wanna do that, and then And then for the other arm, I want to do vaguely the same thing. Whoops. But I want to do it like the other way. And then we'll just... It kind of looks like they've been like... That's a problem, and that happens when you're not paying attention to how you're animating. Because what I've done is, here for this, when it comes to doing the rotation, I've done it the wrong way around, basically. So you can see it should do that, and it should decrease. No worries, might see you later, never know. And it should be a positive number. Or not. Apparently it won't be a positive number. Oh, should it increase? Okay, I'm gonna have to delete this one bit. And then do it again. And just put it into the right space. Which honestly is like the least of the problems I could have had with this. And I've just got to hope that like it will work. Yeah, so that kind of works in terms of being thrown through. Obviously this will happen a little bit later, but I need it now so I can actually figure out, because this should go up and then down. So like here, I'd want it to go up in this direction before then, as if it's bounced off. And really, I almost don't want it to be that close. And then I want the head to like come up a little and then have it like slide back and hit into it. You know? Boom. And I think actually before this moves, I'm gonna do this, and then on the left leg, there's gonna need to be like a little bit of like a bend to indicate that it like hit the ground. Wrong leg. I was right with the right one. It needs to have like a bit of like a bend sort of thing. It needs to happen like before they leave the ground. I maybe look at it from a different angle. Okay, I think it doesn't look like the back like has anything happen here. So it should really kind of be like whoosh. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay. Right. So let's get this going. So that's the end position I want in, obviously. So if we suppose the other thing I could have really done is instead of have it bounce back, I think my idea though was for it to basically be like boom, is for them to actually slide forward away from the portal and just have them hit the ground. I mean, this would happen a lot quicker, I think. In the same way that all this would happen quickly. And I'm just gonna try and speed it all up by a few different frames. Maybe it wouldn't happen that quick. It seemed to have been that one. I think I'm gonna just have to change it, and instead of them hitting here, like I want to keep this end thing. I think I'll just have to move the head. But instead of them coming back, I think I'm just gonna have to have it be like they go forward. And then I can just change the way this leg acts. And it can, instead of, oh, I'm not changing the leg there. And instead of it currently doing what it does, I mean, I could theoretically have it just bend. Okay, you know what? I think that's even better actually. So it hits. And then basically as it goes forward, it bends like this. And like it would stay in this position in this end as well. What that does mean though is this actually needs to be like the back would need to like bend more. With the head not doing that. But I still kind of need the back and all that to be like... And instead of it going in, it might just have to, like... Is it already 6:30? Oh, almost. Okay, 1 second. I'm just gonna finish off the way this looks. No, it's alright. I'll hop off in just a second. I just want to get this into the right position before I do. And also just move this leg down. There we go. And I'm just gonna have one like full watch through and see how it goes. We'll just have one watch through of it before I end off the stream to go have food. So she, oh wait, we'll watch it in the actual, like, you know, the view. Okay, and the last thing I want from this actually is just to literally have it slide more, and I'll just watch this end bit again. Okay, well I like that. I need a new one. I just need to check that that is actually above, yeah. Okay. Dum boom. Cool, I think I'm happy with that. Right. So, with that done, and that being said, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. Will I be back later on? I don't know. I'm thinking kind of, maybe probably not. I've been streaming for 3.5 hours, so I think that's kind of good enough for today. Camera? Hello? Why do my cameras break? What? Why? I'm just trying to leave. Okay, let's just make this bigger, shall we? I'll be trying to leave over here and it's just like, nah. Just be like, we don't want that. You're not allowed that, you know? Gonna have my head here, I guess. Modify it. I have no idea what you're doing, but I hope you're having fun with it. Anyway, with that all being said, thank you so much for joining today if you did happen to pop in. I know obviously watching me do uni work probably isn't like the most interesting thing in the world, and I do understand that. I have to get it done, unfortunately, so the next couple of days, until really the 15th of May, is going to be either uni work, and then maybe if I want to break one day, I will play a game or something, but it will get back to how it usually is, hopefully. And thank you so much for joining, like I already said, and I hope you somewhat enjoy this. I know it isn't quite the Minecraft you like want, probably. I know a lot of people followed me while watching the Minecraft. Anyway, I'm gonna pop off and go have dinner, which is really weird to say because I usually stream after I've eaten, but I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye. I said bye too early. Goodbye.